CQR Pure Sims 5 points clear of CQR Club, then Automech up in 3rd place. And then Craig set up shop 4th, and Apex Racing Team in 5th, and boosted Sim Sport and Motorsport leading the Pro-Am Teams Championship too.
Yeah, and really hard fought championships at the moment. I'm sure we'll see that all the way towards the end of the season, which comes, well, quite a long way away, shall we say, at the moment.
Yeah, it may be a shorter season, but yeah, we are about what, a third of the way through the campaign.
Already.
Yeah, so in fact, yeah, this is round 4 of 14. So we're getting through them, and of course, after round 10, it becomes a showdown. So we're nearly halfway towards the showdown already.
Yeah, and our another anti-clockwise circuit here.
Yeah, you don't see them too often. Got Interlagos.
I can think of, yeah, Interlagos was the other one I was thinking of. Luke Cooper's got up into 7th place now, so Cooper's going very, very well in that Automech team.
Looking here at Jack Sedgwick, who has got a bit of a few cars in front of him. Just trying to work out who they are. Number 84, that is Rob Sutherland, the Simtech racing car, and then one of the cars that you do like, as you mentioned earlier, he's trying to get an overtake done here on his quali lap. He's up the inside into Aquinum and Arali, which in a front-wheel drive car like these is quite tough.
Yeah, Sedgwick is going to be one of the favourites for this title. Very nearly took the title last season, of course, in the Winter Series. Lost out by not many points at all, really, to Wojciech Zvirovic. Looking to right that wrong again. Peter Dempsey, the Irishman. Terrific driver in single-seaters, things like Indy Lights, stuff like that. He knows his way around these tracks, and certainly in this Turn 3 motorsport car, looks very strong indeed. Keith Dempsey as well. In car 16, is currently in 11th place, looking just as strong.
Josh Thompson onto pole position with a 152.8. He's managed to just get edge past George Simmons by 21 thousandths of a second. So I wonder if we'll see a late flurry of fast laps come in as the cars cross the line with just over 30 seconds to go.
Oh, somebody spins in the background, so that might not help a couple of them. And that is going to be car 8. That's Ross McFarlane having a spin coming out of Tambirello.
That's him done for the session, it looks like, because there's no way he's going to get round this lap and get it done before the flag comes out. So he'll be starting at best in P8 as here comes Josh Thompson. Maybe an opportunity to maybe extend his advantage here with a couple seconds left.
Yeah, Thompson for Craig's setup shop. He's had a good few races. He absolutely flew in the World GT Championship on Monday night. Really turning into a really mature driver, having to go with his pace. We know he had he's always had the speed. He's sometimes been a bit reckless in the past, but last year or two, look at that, dear me. The last year or two, he's really, really cleaned up his act out there on the circuit.
Yeah, he's come close to winning, as you mentioned, the World GT Series in the past, and I haven't seen him this good in a ARLTC campaign. I believe he's planning to run the whole schedule, so this might be his best season yet in the car as he comes into the Ravatza. I'll be quite surprised after seeing him not hopping, jumping over those curbs, that if he's able to improve on his time, but we'll see. Now he's coming into the pits, so he's going to start on first unless anyone can improve on it.
Yeah, there are 3 Craig setup shop cars out there. There is Josh Thompson, there is Craig Williams, team principal, and Tim Greven as well, who at the moment hasn't set a time. Quite a few drivers haven't set a time so far, and will not either. So I wonder if some of them were put to the back for maybe some infringements at the last round or two.
Oh, Ross Balfour.
Martin Johnston at the back there.
Oh yeah, just having a look at the cars that haven't set times. Daniel Nage starting at the back, along with Tim Greven, one of the Craig setup shop cars that you were mentioning earlier. Scott Malcolm near the back there too. George Simmons coming up with a late lap. He's gone into 3rd place. Sorry, Ross Balfour coming up with a late quali time. He is in 3rd place, so knocks Ash Sutton down to 4th. And looking here at Craig Williams, who will start in 20th place. Top AM driver looks like it is Luke Cooper. So In fact, row 4 is a Cooper, row 4, with Jason Cooper 7th and Luke Cooper in 8th, 2 teammates as well.
Yeah, and brilliant stuff from them. Really impressive, as we said. Ben Palmer for CQR Club is in 11th. Dave Baker's 13th. Wojciech Svidovic 17th only. That is a little bit surprising from the reigning champion, and is it six times now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we have to go through this every week, but we tried to work out how many times he's done it. He did it in 2014 before the Pro Series, and he did it in 2016, 17 and 18, and then the Winter Series.
The Winter Series.
So yeah, 5 or 6, I think. I'm hoping you were counting at home.
Whichever way you slice it, Wojciech Svidovic is very, very good at touring car racing, and that's really the message we want to bring home here as the boosted car comes into the pits, and that is the end of the qualifying session here at Imola. And well, as the drivers line up on the grid ready for the start, there's the order on the screen now.
Josh Thompson starts on pole number 52.8. George Simmons and Ross Balfour less than half a tenth behind. Ash Sutton there in 4th place, Jack Sedgwick in 5th, Peter Dempsey probably up there with one of his best qualifyings of the season, up in 6th, Jason Cooper, then Luke Cooper, top AM driver as well, Ross McFarlane 9th, and Adam Hadfield completing the top 10. 11th for Ben Palmer, Keith Dempsey starting in 12th, 13th place for for the next row is based on former champions, David Baker in 13th and Jamie Rushworth in 14th. 15th on the grid, Pete Newman. He was running as the top AM for a while, but he was pipped late on. Pete Harrod in 6th. It's a complete row of Petes there. Wojciech Svidovic 17th, Tim Stabani in 18th, 19th for Matt Bunn, and Craig Williams completing the top 20. Mark Woodhouse 21st, Simon Field just over a tenth behind in 22nd, Paolo Preto in 23rd, then David Van Breck, the Belgian, in 24th. 25th, Adam Hedgecock, Mike Horder, his boosted colleague, in 26th. Jake Blackhall, the Aussie, 27th. Sean Gardner, 28th. Kevin Carlisle in 29th, and Jack Stiles completing the top 30. 31st, Michael Blake, Rob Graham for Automech Am in 32nd. John Roberts, 33rd. Matt Sanderson in 34th. Then Rob Barrable in 35th, and then Paolo Bremer in 36th. Bram Clace, 37th, and then cars towards the rear. Rob Sutherland, Jose Malbran, Tyler Vickery, Nathan Davis, 41st, Tim Greven in 42nd, 43rd, Michael Evdoka, Damian Harris, Adam McNally after that, Daniel Nage, 46th, 47th, James Holman, Nicky Meredith in 48th, Kip Stevens down there in 49th, he'll be one to watch out for, and then Mark Johnston, as you were saying earlier, Scott Malcolm in 51st, and starting at the back in 52nd, with a lot of work to do, is Mark Jones. Look at all those cars.
Right then, the revs are rising here at Imola. And when the red lights go out, the green light comes on then, and we are away at Imola. Great start by Thompson, and really bad start by Simmons. He's dropping way down the order. He's already down to 9th, not sure what happened at all. Just bogged down, it looked like. Thompson then from Balfour. Balfour and Sutton squeezing each other. They need to be careful on the first lap. We're going down to Villeneuve. And, oh, somebody's nearly on the grass. I think it's Sedgwick being squeezed out. Balfour and Sutton getting their elbows out early.
Oh, and it's not over. They almost get forced off the track at the Villeneuve, coming up to Tosa now, the hairpin. And everybody looks like they've made it through the first few corners without incident. That's good to see as Jack Sedgwick tries to go around the outside of the former BTC champion, and he's got the drive as well.
Yeah, Sedgwick on the outside of Sutton then. Into Piratella they come. Just slices in front of Sutton then. Oh, Sutton sideways.
Holds on to it well. He's now got Peter Dempsey for company. You're right about that appalling stop for George Simmons. He's down 7 places already. Into Aqua Minerali we go, and Dempsey had a little bit of a look, but thought better of it, especially on the first lap of race 1.
Yeah, and Dempsey, who's a veteran now, seems to just be biding his time, make sure that capitalise on any errors. Just behind them is Jason Cooper, then it's Ross McFarlane. Ross McFarlane, the blue Texas Fitzline Motorsport car.
Plunging downhill into Ravazza then, it looks like a bit of argy-bargy at the back. That's Mike Corder. There's an Automech car off as well. That might be Rob Graham, but nonetheless, there's a bit of a a log jam at one of the slowest parts of the circuit at the very anti-alto. And
Adam McNally off. Yeah, McNally now driving for Automec. Having a spin. Riding with Dempsey and Cooper. Great start from Jason Cooper. Great to see Automec on the front after all these years on merit. Here is Dempsey. Takes a better line than Cooper through Tamperillo, I beg your pardon. And he's going to get the run into the Villeneuve chicane. Oh my. Well, the margins were very, very small there. Almost cutting the course, Dempsey, as he tries to get this cut back.
Oh, and who's out on the inside? That's Ross McFarlane.
I wonder if Dempsey did get a slowdown. Yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
It's unfortunate for him in the first 2 laps. The slowdowns around here are pretty tough.
iRacing have done a good job in the last few months of kind of sorting out slowdowns, making them a little bit less severe, but still on the first lap, that's where it's going to hurt you the most, as Ross McFarlane, former team's champion, trying to defend what is now a train, I have to say. Behind him is Cooper, then Simmons, then Luke Cooper, then Hadfield, Palmer, Dempsey, Baker, Rushford, and Wojciech.
Yeah, there's an invisible tow rope separating all these guys going into the very anti-alto at the top of the hill. And in most cars you'll find on iRacing, they really don't take nicely to handling the massive curves around this circuit. But I think in these ARLTC cars, they enjoy it quite a bit. So it's a shame that Peter Dempsey picked up that slowdown. He's now back in 12th.
Yeah, they can bounce along a little bit. Thompson, Balfour, Sedgwick and Sutton are away. They're 2.5 seconds clear of Ross McFarlane. So these 4, it looks like that race is already going to be decided between them. Ben Palmer's got off the circuit briefly, but he still maintains 10th position ahead of Keith Dempsey, who's got ahead of Peter. Balfour, Sedgwick sets the fastest lap at 53.624. The rest in the 55s, that's how much they've been held up as Balfour, the Northern Irishman, tries to go around the outside of Josh Thompson. Can't quite do it, the man from the Isle of Man stands firm.
Yeah, these are 2 great drivers, great lads as well. I think they were in the same room together at the same time as me at the Sim Racing Expo last year. Jack Sedgwick trying to get involved in the act as well. Don't count out Ash Sutton, who would ever do that, as he now comes up to the back of the Apex Racing team car. And all of a sudden, Josh Thompson's been able to pull out a little bit of an advantage as a result of Balfour and Sedgwick going into battle.
Yeah, Sutton lurking, that famous number 116. He's really imposing his will on this front battle. And that's the thing, when Ash Sutton's behind you, Adam, you've always got to be alert, because he can go for a move at any time.
Yeah, if there's anybody that's the latest on the brakes, it's definitely Ash Sutton. I know all about that from one time I raced against him in the touring cars a couple of years ago, and I'm sure with just one quarter of the race gone, he is in no hurry whatsoever. He's only just 1 second away from the race leader, and if any of them start battling, then that gap will close pretty much straight away as they go into the outer again.
Yeah, it looks like he's giving a little bit of space to the front 3 just to make sure that he doesn't accidentally run into them, or if they do come together, then he might be able to get a bit of a run. Sneak past either Jack Sedgwick, Ross Balfour, or maybe even both of them. Who knows? But Josh Thompson leads by half a second. He's looking good. This is the battle for 5th, and the second pack, Ross McFarlane of Scotland. He is leading Jason Cooper in the Automec car. And off goes Keith Dempsey. So both Dempseys have had problems on the first few laps. Peter Dempsey with a slowdown. Keith Dempsey going off at Rivazza. And he's down behind now the German Tim Stebani, who is in 16th place at the moment. Look at this.
The rest. That's Simmons, isn't it?
Josh Simmons. Well, he had an appalling start, Adam. It's one of the worst starts I've seen in this series in a long time.
Oh.
And he found himself down in 9th place as he's banging door handles with Cooper.
And here comes the other Cooper.
Yeah, Luke's having a look now. Luke's gone around, just staying ahead of Ben Palmer. Ben Palmer in the yellow CQR club car. Oh, and they're all jockeying for position. This is the standard of this series. This is the quality of the drivers in the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. They're just millimetres apart, not making contact. Here we go. This is on board with Simmons. Watch as he tries to go for the grass of it.
I don't think that would have worked, and unfortunately he managed to ease off the throttle and almost managed to get by. Here we go. He hits that massive sausage curve on the inside, and We can't see him, but he's rubbing door handles with the Automet car, and there are the two Coopers behind us, and Ben Palmer's CQR Club car as well.
Alex Neller, the boosted driver, loves that on the YouTube chat, and why not? Simmons having a good, proper go at this, still keeping the rampaging Coopers behind.
Now
Jason's got a good run out of the Variante Alta though. Literally means high chicane, not just high in terms of altitude, but high in terms of those curves.
And Fernando Alonso and his Minardi going flying off. Oh, into Ravazza, it's downhill braking zone, and those Audis really do not like that. And here is Ben Palmer getting past Luke Cooper. It won't be totally the end of the world for Luke, because he is still quite a way ahead of the next highest Pro-Am driver, that is Pete Newman in 15th. But this is going to be very interesting. Ben Palmer, I hope you're not looking in the mirrors, because there's tons of cars behind you. It's back for the fight for the lead.
Well, Josh Thompson isn't looking in his mirrors either, because Ross Balfour is alongside him into Tamburello. And this time he has got an overlap. Oh, maybe some slight issues for Balfour there, connection-wise. And Sutton goes round the outside into P2. That could have very nearly been disaster, but well avoided by both of them. Good driving. And Ross McFarlane's now got clear of that chasing pack as well. He's got a couple of seconds behind him.
Yeah, 2 overtakes in the space of a lap for Ash Sutton. He was behind Jack Sedgwick earlier, and in the blinking of an eye, he's up to second place and got Josh Thompson right in front of him. I think in the background...
Oh, Wojciech Vidovic is off.
Oh, no. Yeah, you can see the gravel.
He was off briefly.
Yeah. He's right in the thick of that battle. I think Ben Palmer may have cut the course at Tamburello. I did see a bit of gravel getting kicked up in the background of our shots, but here comes...
Do you think Savidovic went off at Villeneuve, possibly?
Yeah. So Palmer off at Tamburello, so Wojciech off at the Villeneuve chicane. So those are 2 really tricky corners. And look at this, 2 wide between the seat car.
Yeah, and you've got 3 teams just behind with blue and white liveries. Oh! And Dempsey getting turned, but somehow he saves it. Oh, now he's really been finished off by Wojciech Savidovic.
Well, it was an impressive slide. That would almost certainly have been a slowdown penalty. And then, yeah, someone finished the job down at Aquinum and Arali. That's a massive shame. Dempsey is now behind Keith Dempsey in 24th place.
Definitely poured some cold lacquer on that one. After that, apparently there's glitter on the boosted cars. In more important sartorial matters out there. We're being reliably informed. So there you go. Wonder if that is the case. We'll have to see. But yeah, there is Simon Field, boosted motorsport, 21st position.
They ran it again. Sutton putting the fastest lap of the race on that last lap as well.
Side by side then. Sutton looking to try and go the long way around. Maybe getting this long cut back through Tamburello, this 3-far corner. Look at Balfour, look at the speed he's carrying. Oh, here we go.
Oh. I'm nearly speechless as Balfour tried to overtake both of them. These are definitely 2 of the most audacious drivers in the ARLTC, that's for sure, if you've got Sutton and Thompson battling away.
Yeah, unbelievable speed and accuracy from these guys to not run into each other, not take each other out completely. That Sutton leads the way. Now it'll be interesting. We've seen Sutton get to lead in race 1s. Doesn't often run away with it though. Sometimes he's quite hard on his tyres, so I wonder if he'll be able to actually keep that intact for the majority of the race. Any big movers in the field? Yeah, Damien Harris is up to 27th, he started 44th. Daniel Nage started 46th, he's 29th. James Holman started 47th, he's 32nd. And Mark Johnson started 50th, he's 35th. So some great jobs, and actually Mark Johnson and Rob Jackson have both gained 14 places as well.
Yeah, they were almost on the same road together, and they've pretty much fought their way into near reverse grid contention as Thompson is glued to the back of Sutton's Audi. Oh, I thought he was going to hit him. He might just tap him into Ravazza, maybe just maybe not close enough. Now into Ravazza, where Sutton is now going to have to worry about the benefit of the slipstream. He's been the beneficiary of it on the last few laps, but now he's going to be almost at risk of getting overtaken by Thompson now as we go down the front straight.
Yeah, you've really got to get up early in the morning to outbreak Ash Sutton, that's for sure.
Is Josh Thompson that guy? Let's have a look.
Let's see. Well, not quite this time. He's certainly trying with all his might as Jason Cooper sets the fastest lap, 1:53.2. 1.014. That is a frantic pace. And these guys want the 154s at the front, so the gap is coming down ever so slowly. You can see those three in the background, McFarlane, Cooper and Simmons. They're closing in. Have they got enough time? I don't know, 8 minutes. Well, they could do if they start battling, definitely. Balfour and Sedgwick side by side again.
Tosa, yep, and Balfour finds an Audi space to fit back in third place. And I'll tell you what, I don't think I'll be able to pull off what these guys are doing. It's one thing to race with one another, but when you've got 3 cars surrounding you too, I think I'll probably be off in the gravel at Villeneuve by this point, and we've still got another 8 minutes or so to go at this.
Oh, I would have UGE'd someone by now, I think.
Oh well, Christian Albers. Yeah,
that's the reference, isn't it? But yeah, no, these guys are fantastic. I mentioned in the Skip Barber race we were covering last night on the channel that I'm always in admiration of drivers who can race so close to one another at such speed and have such confidence in the opponent to just not crash into each other. Now this becomes the point, though, Adam, where Ash Sutton, who's used to rubbish shoulders with the likes of Colin Turkington and Jason Plato, you know, him being at the front, he's got to the point where he's pretty comfortable. He's been there for 2 or 3 laps now, and he knows where the other guys are strong. He knows where he's strong himself, and he's always going to have that comfort of him being strong on the brakes. This is his race to lose now, surely.
Well, yeah, what's the saying? Catching is one thing, passing is another. Sutton's done just that. He's in the lead, and now he's trying to make sure that these guys start battling among themselves. Sedgwick was almost certain that Ross Balfour was clear of him, and I thought he was going to turn into the side of him or something, as Thompson now has to deal with the threat of Balfour.
One false move from anybody there, and that would have been disastrous. Let's have a look. Rob Barrable, Tim Stabani's got past Matt Bunn for 15th place.
Oh, no.
And it looks like Tim Stabani's dropping down the order. Actually, there he is. The German is off.
And that's before the Tamburello, so I'm not sure how that's occurred for him, but he's down to 25th place now. Here's a replay. He is leading a quite feisty train. Car 11 is Matt Bunn. He's on the inside here, going down the straight.
Oh, it's not going to be good, is it? Oh!
Fortunately, he doesn't get collected by anyone else.
He largely avoided the wall as well. He just tapped it lightly. So only scratches to the back of that Audi, maybe a dent or 2. He's following Damien Harris, who's one of the biggest movers we've had so far, and Adam Hedgecock for Boosted Motorsport in 25th position.
If you go off here, you're not really helped out by the amount of runoff area. There are some strict confines around the Imola circuit. There's a massive river, well, there's a river anyway, just outside Tamburello, so there isn't going to be too much in terms of runoff area there if you go off.
Well, yeah, that was the whole thing, wasn't it? When the safety issues happened, and why they couldn't just keep the old layout, it was because they physically couldn't move the track, the fences any further back. As side by side again is Thompson and Balfour. Thompson actually getting fenced in slightly himself. Now Sedgwick always seems to get a great run off Rivazza, but he just can't do anything about it. Even though this straight is massively wide, he can never seem to really find an opening. He may have one now, though. He's going to get the overspeeds. There's a car going slowly on the inside. Might have been
Barrable, I think?
Davies, possibly. Was it? I don't know.
Hard to tell. I think it was one of the Irishmen.
Oh. Yeah.
And now...
Oh, Meredith, I think. Could have been Meredith.
Now that Balfour's almost dispatched the cars behind him as they go into the Villeneuve chicane, he's now got an 0.8 of a second gap to try and close. Going off into the gravel won't help.
Yeah, look at these guys have caught up now. McFarlane is here, Jason Cooper is here, George Simmons is here, and Ash Sutton is escaping. 1.08 seconds, we see it on the screen.
You called it. I didn't think it was going to be possible for those guys to catch up to the back of this lot, but they have done just that, and Sutton is now over a second away as into Piratella. That's Balfour versus Sedgwick.
Sedgwick goes onto the runoff area. Ross McFarlane, who last we saw of him in qualifying was just spinning off, but he's managed to get the bit between his teeth in the race. He started 9th, Ross McFarlane, so great job to get himself into contention for this one. As off again goes I don't know who that is in the green car. I'll have to figure that out at some point. But yeah, look at this big train now. Top 7. David Baker's gone up into 8th place as well for CQR Pure Sim. He started in 13th place, so good job by Dave to move up the order. There he is in car number 6.
2 Automet cars inside the top 10 as well in Jason Cooper and Adam Hadfield. Hadfield right where he started in P10.
Yeah, good work by all those guys keeping out of trouble so far. The only retirements we've had so far, we've had several retirements it looks like, but we'll get to those I suppose at the end. We'll really ascertain exactly who they all are. But Hadfield, yeah, well the lead is under threat. Oh, John Roberts.
Oh no.
That is not in great shape whatsoever. The engine's smoking. Let's see what's happened to John Roberts here.
Almost looks like the car was sagging to one side, so if he lost a wheel and all of that.
Yeah, suspension damage it appears in the end.
There he is in the pits. The lead remains as you were, but it was almost 1/10 of a second between Sutton and Balfour at the end of the previous lap.
Yeah, Jason Cooper and George Simmons, they just can't quite get to this group just yet. I wonder if one of them had a mistake actually, or whether they were just battling side by side. As we see it now, contact. Off goes Cooper. Simmons carries on. And Simmons is waiting for him, I believe. It's a great sportsmanship by Simmons. That's what you like to see.
Yeah, Simmons, he'll still be quite upset from the start he got, and here come the leaders up again to the Variante Alta. Oh, a little bit.
Oh, Sutton's round. Oh, that won't go down well.
He might still be in contention of the race win. We might be just starting the final lap next time around if he can get a move on.
Here comes Josh Thompson into Rivazza. He's going to test Balfour's resolve now. Ah, down the inside. Balfour onto the grass.
Well,
now he's in the clutch of Sutton.
Tit for tat, really. Balfour sends Sutton around, and now both of them in 4th and 5th places. Here we go, so on the final lap, it's Thompson versus Sedgwick for now.
We'll see some receipts getting dished out here, couldn't we? It's Thompson and Sedgwick, yeah, side by side across the line. Who's going to get the verdict at the line? I think it was just Jack Sedgwick into Tamburello then for the final time. Sedgwick on the outside, Thompson on the inside. Thompson hits the curb hard, bounces up in the air. Fowler nearly gets an advantage from that all, but he can't even speak as Fowler's trying to go through into Villeneuve. As he wrestles with the car under braking, you can see how hard they're pushing at them. The car's just right at the edge of its capabilities at the moment.
I don't think Jack Sedgwick has led at all night, and here he is in the lead as Sutton up the inside of Balfour.
Bang! Take that, he says.
Right, that's one position ticked off. He's got 3 more to get by if he wants to stand a chance of winning this one. Sedgwick hasn't really been able to pull away, and Thompson's only 1/3 of a second away.
Here we go then. Found out who one of the laps cards was. It was a former BSRTC race winner Nathan Davis in one of those cars there. As Jason Cooper and George Simmons battling it out for 6th place into Aqua Minerale. And yes, it looks like Cooper's kept that one. It's 4/10 in it at the front.
Yeah, there is Davis in his familiar green colours as well. Who could forget that? As, yeah, here come the leaders.
It's not in great shape though, is it?
Right.
Rivazza might be the last. It will be the last major opportunity for Josh Thompson. Is Sedgwick going to take to the inside? He is. It's very hard to go around the outside. You just simply don't have the grip here, but Thompson is still going to try it. That's not going to stop him. Oh, McFarlane nearly into the back of it, but Sedgwick's going to survive it. Jack Sedgwick driving to the line. I'm pretty sure he's got enough. He has got enough. Jack Sedgwick takes the first round of the evening here at Imola. It's going to be very close for the bubbly. Oh, who's going to get it? Oh, that's Sutton. By just a little bit. Gets a little bit of the bubbly.
By, yeah, 1/100th of a second over Ross McFarlane.
Oh, and that's Holman and Evdoka and Hedgecock. They're getting their elbows out massively in the last corner. Oh, what's this? Daniel Naj. Oh, he can't find a way through. Oh, crash! Crash coming across the line. I think it might have been, I'm not sure who it was. I think it was Keith Dempsey, but he's still kicking off down the lower end of the table.
Yeah, this is the fight for 39th and 40th. There's a Simtech car involved. Rob Sutherland, Tim Greben there for Craig setup shop, and
McNally, who spun earlier on, trying to come back. McNally, has he got enough over the line? Oh, they're fighting to the line. Oh, and Greven didn't come off very well in the end there. And McNally gets it in the end.
6,000.
The bubbly counter is 2. Indeed it is. More where that came from. You would be celebrating after that one, though. You would be wanting to spray the bubbly.
Cork has well and truly come off for the bubbly counter tonight. As there is our race winner, Jack Sedgwick. He took the lead when it mattered. It doesn't matter what lap you lead, as long as it's the last lap.
Are we going to get some reverse donuts here?
Let's have a look. He's
I'll be happy with that if we get to see it. He might be out of fuel, actually, yeah.
Or maybe he's just got out of the cockpit and left his car to coast to a stop. I think it's rolling back down the hill almost here.
You see, really, the only reason I say bubbly so much is to keep Alex Neller on his toes.
There you go.
Bubbly.
Well, yeah, we've already exhausted the boosted puns on Paul Smith. Paul Smith.
That's why Paul Smith's never been seen again in this series.
Jack Sedgwick then wins the opening race of the day ahead of Josh Thompson, and then Ash Sutton just nicking the podium spot and some bubbly off Ross McFarlane. It's a great time of year, Ross, because Ross McFarlane and Ross Balfour 4th and 5th. George Simmons a couple of seconds away in the end. Dave Baker 7th. Adam Hadfield in 8th, followed by his teammate Jason Cooper in P9. And then Ben Palmer, he's up there in the championship, and that's another solid finish, a 10th place for him. Luke Cooper, highest of the AM drivers. Wojciech Savidovic did go off, but he was able to get a top 12 spot. Pete Newman, second highest AM driver in 13th, then Craig Williams, and then a trio of all different CQR cars. Rushworth for CQR Pure Sims, Matt Bunn for CQR Sims Sports, and then Jake Blackall for CQR Club. Simon Field in 18th place, 19th for Pete Howard, and then the two Dempseys, Keith and Peter. 21st for Damien Harris, David Von Breck in 23rd, then Michael Evdoka in 24th, James Holman 25th, Adam Hedgecock in 26th place, and then Daniel Nage in 27th. Mark Whithouse for Team Mad in 28th place, and then the top 30 completed by Mark Johnston and Paolo Preto. Jack Stiles 31st, Matt Borgate in 32nd, 33rd for Kevin Carlisle, Graham Clace in 34th, then Sean Gardner, Jose Melbourne for Fiercely Forward, Mike Horder, the Welshman, and then Michael Blake in 39th and 38th, Rob Sutherland 39th and 40th for Anna McNally, Tim Greben 41st, 42nd for Tyler Vickery, and Nicky Meredith in 43rd, Scott Malcolm from near the back of the grid able to get up to 44th I should say, then Mark Jones 45th, Rob Graham in 46th, and then the cars one up, down or more, Nathan Davis, good to see him back, 47th, Tim Stabani after getting spun around, I'm guessing he had a meatball flag, hence why he was a lap down, Rob Jackson 49th, and then John Roberts 3 laps down, didn't pick up any points, Rob Barrable, the Irishman, Paolo Bremer in 52nd, Kip Stevens 53rd, and then I think that might just be it. I think we have 54 starters, but not too sure. But yeah, another enthralling race to start the evening.
52 started. I don't think Kip took the start actually this time. Yeah, terrific race. Brilliant racing in race 1. Race 1 is usually the slightly more calm and sedate one, but that was fantastic. How often do we get to see really, 5 or 6 of the best drivers in the series, 5 or 6 of the best touring car drivers in the world, let's face it, fighting over 11 laps? Absolutely brilliant.
And we've still got 2 races to go as well, where all these guys will potentially be in the middle of the field. And here we go, we're getting I'm sure we're going to get the first reverse grid of the day underway. And it's over to our man on the cameras who's been having to keep up with everything. It's Sam Kuma.
Yeah, the wheels on the screen, and definitely 2 TCR races in one week is a lot. But let's just get on with it. So where does it land? It is only 25.
So that will be James Holman. So turn 3 Motorsport Yellow. We'll have a car on pole position for this one, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. He'll be alongside Michael Evdoka, who's usually very highly rated in this series. David Van Broek in third, Damien Harris fourth. Peter Dempsey and Keith Dempsey will take up row 3. That will happen at the other side of the break. We will join you for 2 more races tonight at the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari here on the iRacing Esports Network. Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and the ARLTC from Imola. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath, and Sam Kumo is going to do the cameras for us again. And Adam, race 1 was just brilliant. It was one of the best touring car races we've had in a long time. And really set the stage for what could be a fantastic meeting. Races 2 and 3 decided by the reverse grid. We had 25 reverse, so half the field pretty much. It could get very, very tasty indeed.
Oh, definitely. We saw how close everybody was at the front of race 1. Now they're going to be in the midfield. Quite a quite reasonably sized reverse grid with 25 cars. And now they're going to have to try and get through the thick of everybody starting in front of them. And of course, this will pose the opportunity for many of the drivers that aren't at the front on a regular basis to fetch their name into the winners' books, perhaps. As here we go, we're going down to the grid for the start then, and we haven't got too long to run you through the grid this time. It is James Holman on the pole, then it's Michael Evdoka second, David Von Brack third, Damien Harris in fourth, then the two Dempseys of Peter and Keith, Pete Harrod in seventh, Simon Field eighth, Jake Blackhall ninth, and then Matt Bunn rounding out the top 10, and Jamie Rushworth and Craig Williams completing the top dozen. And of course our podium sitters, Sutton, Thompson, and our winner Jack Sedgwick starting 23rd, 24th, and 25th, and it's another bumper-sized grid with many drivers hoping to get into the reverse grid spot for the final race. They're going to have their work cut out because, as we've seen so far, it's not the widest track in the world, and contact will be inevitable on quite a few corners, I should say.
Yeah, I think so, and there's plenty of quick drivers starting at the back as well, like Nathan Davies, Anna McNally, Tim Stabani. So who knows what can happen? Well, 5 red lights coming on then. The lights are off, the race is on. It's a decent start by Van Broek. It's actually turned into a very good start. Well done in the second phase. And Peter Dempsey's coming alongside Harris into Tamburello. Let's see if the Irishman can get through. Van Broek leading the way. Good work by Damien Van Broek. Harris already going very defensive into Villeneuve, Adam, as Dempsey's on the pro.
Yeah. Oh, rounding outside on the opening lap. That might just about work. And wow, there's an
he bashed the curb.
No, 3 wide into Tosa.
That's what they'll be calling each other, no doubt.
Oh, potentially. Up the hill. Hopefully it's not on the voice chat. Up the hill they go. And for a moment there, it was Harris in the middle of a Turn 3 Motorsport sandwich, but he was able to survive that. There's a whole lot of CQR Club cars here. There's Pete Newman. Sorry, it's Matt Bunn fighting away with Simon Field there. At the high-speed stand. Oh, a few cars off in the background at Piratelli.
Adam, you've done it again. Sam Fitzpatrick's not going to be happy. Oh, there's Sutton in the gravel. It was actually a Harris sandwich.
Ah.
But Ash Sutton there, he tries in vain to wiggle the axle and see if there's any movement there.
The funny thing is, I was so convinced it was the other way around, trying to make sure I said it right, but yeah, you're right. As they go over the
curve. Wide for Blackhall. Sorry, not Blackhall, that's Bunn, isn't it? And through goes Wojciech Svidovic, he's into 8th place.
And Sutton's in the pits, so he's not had the best of starts at all, and it's not going to get much better.
He was in the gravel.
Oh.
He was in the gravel with broken suspension and the wheel missing.
With a few, well, yeah.
There's Harris going wide in Rivazza.
First lap in the books then, and it's the Belgian, David Van Broek, that leads. Dempsey in second. I tell you what, those slowdowns in race 1 were a bit of a silver lining for him, because it means he's near the front here in race 2.
Great first lap for Van Broek as well. As soon as he escaped that attack by the two Dempseys, he managed to pull out a 1 second lead on the first lap. So good stuff by him. Oh, off goes Matt Bunn. No, 33. Rushworth, Jamie Rushworth.
Purple mirrors. I was trying to work out. Watch out! I thought that CQR Club car was about to get turned around. Rushworth serving his slowdown penalty.
Oh no! Oh, just did well to stay on the inside there, Jamie Rushworth, former champion of this series. Balfour's coming through the field. It's already got some damage. Look at that. Oh look, the boot's open, is it? Or is that just black livery? No, it's black livery, isn't it?
It's hanging on a bit by a thread. I know you've suffered when the bonnet's flown up on some of the races you've done, so...
Oh yeah.
Don't know if that will apply to these guys in the Audis.
I think it does. Another hit, and he might be in a little bit of trouble. As Simon Field in 15th place tries to make some progress.
Oh,
Off
no.
goes Harris again. It's not gone very well for him since the first lap.
Down to what? The lower reaches of the top 20 here, down to 18th place, 19th place I should say, Damien Harris, and
Josh Thompson has gone round the outside of him.
yeah, and look who's in front of him, Jack Sedgwick. I remember you.
Unbelievable, they always seem to find themselves on the same part of the track. David Van Broek leads by 0.6 of a second now. It's come down slightly to Peter Dempsey. Harrod is in third, Jake Blackhall, the Australian's in fifth, Keith Dempsey, fourth for Blackhall, and then fifth is Keith Dempsey, then Wojciech Svidovic up to sixth.
Out of the Ravazza onto the front straight. This is where the Variante Bassa and the Triguardo chicane were until the reprofiling of the circuit just over 10 years ago. Great to see Blackhall putting in a decent lap as well. Fastest lap of the race. Here's Ben Palmer, the ever so consistent Ben Palmer from the start of the season, and he's got Matt Bunn for company and Craig Williams just over a second up the road. So here's the CQR Club back in the top 10 again.
Yeah, they do sometimes use the Variante Bassa, don't they, for the bikes, but it's not that. To be honest, it's not a great corner. It's kind of just there almost because they had to put it in. But fair play to them for opening up the big long straight and trying to create an overtaking opportunity. When the Formula 1 cars raced here on iRacing, that was the main DRS zone as well, as there's going to be 3 wide in the middle, and that is Jason Cooper, 3 wide with the 2 CQR Sim Sports cars.
And that is a Jason Cooper sandwich, isn't it? Into
there
the
you
left,
go.
the Piratella. And the bread, in this case being the CQR Sim Sports cars, are somewhat dispersed, and it's right back together again.
Well, that's it, and well, you do get a bread bun in this case. Matt Bunn is can't do it. Matt Bunn, car number 11, is in 11th place.
Oh well, could get sliced apart in a minute. Up to the chicane we go, and that bonnet it doesn't look like it's going to be lasting long. I think it's got the pins on the left-hand side of that picture still in, but the ones on the right look like they've been jettisoned somewhat. And here is Ross Balfour trying to get up the order again. He's gained 9 places so far, the most out of anybody in the top 20. Biggest mover so far looks to be Tim Stabani. It's up the inside goes Cooper, late on the brakes. The car was all over the place, but he got it done. Yeah,
great move by Jason Cooper. Car 3 making some progress. We've had a request on the chat. Where's Paulo Preto? Well, he's in, I think he's in 37th place at the wait a minute.
Oh, hello.
Oh, he's down in 49th place. He's had a bad start. And look at the damage on that fiercely forward car. So that's it's not going well for the Brazilian.
Pulling away
he won't be saying obrigado to us for showing that, I'm sure, but we'll see if he makes it to the end. He might get a reverse grid, you never know. On board with Woodhouse then.
It's got Hedgecock behind. This is a Pro-Am fight going on here. Just about make him out in the left-hand mirror there. But is he going to be at the inside here? Oh, is he being hit?
I think he's been hit. Yeah. Woodhouse is going into the gravel. Bang!
What a shame for him. It was... We'll have to wait and see who did indeed hit him.
Oh, it's going to be the hedge, isn't it? Hedgecock hitting Woodhouse, so I'll be having words. There he goes. Oh, Mark Woodhouse into the wall. Not major damage on the Audi, but enough to slow him down somewhat as we go back to the front. Now David Van Broek. He's under some real issues.
Dempsey... I don't think the Variante Alta is an overtaking spot unless you want to take flight over the curbs. You can get a slowdown if you run too wide there.
Oh. The jokes on the YouTube chat are as bad as mine. David Van Broek then. He's trying not to be punted. Although he's showing boosted livery, but he's showing independence. So who knows on that one. Van Broek ahead of Dempsey, then it's Harrod, then it's Blackhall. And then it's Keith Dempsey in 5th. Craig Williams is in 7th, so he's had a good start from 12th position. Ben Palmer up from 16th, Jason Cooper up from 17th. Ross Balfour up from 21st.
Unless I'm very mistaken, I don't think Turn 3 Motorsports have got a win yet in the ARLTC this season, and it's tantalisingly close in front of them.
They've been very quick, haven't they? They've really shown their skills. Dempsey, of course, has driven in many different Formula and series out in the real world, and Josh Thompson sets the fastest lap. 53.7, but yeah, Dempsey's got some great pedigree. Both of them have. And trying to battle here. Two Irishmen in this front group, because Wojciech Svidovic lives in Ireland and he's making contact with Keith Dempsey. He's going to Tosa.
Oh, thought he had damage then, did Wojciech? I thought he had a puncture or something, but no, they carry on nonetheless up the hill.
Oh, big one! I don't know if Williams may have nudged him. Please no Punterino. There was some Punterino going on there.
But the Piratella. Oh.
Punterino, the Piratella. Here we go.
This is where Schumacher went off in the Benetton all those years ago, and it's another blue and white car that's off in the barriers. Oh,
what on earth happened? Can we see from the back, please, Sam? See if there's an angle from maybe chase cam or something like that. Here we go.
What is going on? I think Peter Dempsey was briefly in the lead. Here we go.
Oh, well, Dempsey's hit the brakes there. I'll apologise to Craig Williams on that one, because he did look from that lower angle from the front that there might have been a little bit of a nudge, but yeah, it was Dempsey losing it on the way into the corner and smashing into Svidovic.
Oh, yeah, it's now a change for seconds, because after challenging for the lead, Peter Dempsey is now down to third, and now Pete Harrod is going for the race lead.
Yeah, Harrod going for the lead, making no hesitations here. The CQR club car. Van Broek's going to have to concede this one, you know. Oh, Dempsey! He flies up the inside into Tamburello. Oh!
Oh, and off!
Really? Oh, off! That's Jake Blackhall. And it's Keith Dempsey.
Oh, Keith Dempsey loses a door mirror for his troubles.
Oh. I can see clearly now the mirror's gone. Maybe not. Oh, look at this! That's Josh Thompson on Cooper. He flies into the Villeneuve chicane.
Well, what an audacious move that was from Peter Dempsey up the inside into Tamburello. Caught David Van Broek by surprise, and now he's back to
and there's Ross McFarlane for Texas Fitstein Motorsport. Having a look into Tosa, he just doesn't quite manage to get through.
Over the top of the hill. Don't want to repeat of what happened on the previous lap.
Oh, there
Cooper
was
looked like he got nudged. Yeah, he got nudged through the Piratella.
Simon Field getting involved. Former championship contender in this series, Simon Field. Slowly been, since his return to the series, he's slowly been ramping his pace back up sort of week by week, and this season it really looks like he's going to be in with a chance of that AM category. George Simmons, who started very, very high up in the first race, and had that awful start, really. Actually a decent starter, not this time.
Two cars in the pits, Jack Stiles and Jose Malbran. I believe he drives a fiercely forward, so that's not gone too well for that team.
See Connor Paris in the YouTube chat, not unable to make it this week. Sorry about that, Connor, and hopefully we'll see you back next time. Sedgwick, oh. Look at this, the quality of the racing is fantastic, it really is. Look how close they all are, and got a 4-pack here. 2x2. Oh my word, who's that on the inside? That's Harris.
Oh, it seems some big ones there. Dempsey into the pits as well at the end of that lap, and everybody's just nudging each other down the straight. This is going to come to a head sooner or later. Stabani was arriving very late on the scene there.
Yeah, I mean, he really flew in there, but oh, right in front. Right in front there was Field. Up the inside goes Adam Hadfield having a look on Jamie Rushworth. He can't quite do it this time.
Rushworth, the purple mirrors, he was off earlier on. Into Tosa, and he hits him.
Oh, Field tried the wide line. He caught out Rushworth slightly.
These two know each other well. Going back to the early days of this series.
Oh yeah, this is an old scrap that's been going for many a year. Rushworth first has to deal with Adam Hadfield, though, if you want to say a piece of Simon Field here. Damien Harris around the outside then. Into Aqua Minerale. Late on the brakes and he's through. Good stuff. And also trying to take advantage of that is Tim Stabani.
Oh. I think a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, he just lost some momentum.
Oh, he's going for it.
Oh, up the inside then. Into Variante Alto. He said it was an overtaking position. Bang! Wheel arches clashing together as they bounce over the curves, just inches away from each other. Wojciech Savinovic is in there again after when he's trying to recover now. Daniel Naj, the Hungarian, he's very late on the brakes. I think he's outbraked himself into reverse, so he might turn it into an overtaking move on the reigning champion.
Oh, Poland versus Hungary going on here onto the front straight. And, well, yeah, Stefani tried to crowbar some sort of space up at the Variante Alta, and it didn't come off too well with him losing a few places. I think Stefani might be alongside us. There he is.
Whoa, and he's trying to come through. Look at that, he's tunneling through like a badger or something.
He's battling away like a beaver here into the Tamburello.
Oh, he's outbraked himself. Unbelievable. He did all that work. He made that space, and now he's outbraked himself into the first corner, which is allowing Daniel Naj, Wojciech Savinovic, oh my word! And the Rickmatech Sports Car Series champion Kevin Carlisle in 23rd place. He's having a look as well, the American. Mike Johnston is in there too. Oh, and Carlisle got nudged by Johnston. Mike Johnston is a terrific driver. He started right at the back, and he's up to, well, he's at 29th. He started actually up to 22nd. He's always shown pace. But this battle, the names in this fight, Adam, battling in the mid-20s is unbelievable.
And this could almost be a fight for the reverse grid pole. And Wojciech Savinovic, he's used to fighting the likes of Sutton and Thompson on a weekly basis. He's not too used to fighting these guys, and he's almost getting a baptism of fire of racing in the midfield here as Mark Johnston almost gets by into the Aqua Minerale. I tell you what, you'll be loving this. There's quite a lot of your favourite colour on display here with Woodhouse as well.
Give me all of it. Give me all of it. Yeah, I'll definitely be. Yeah, it's an excuse to some to this series to just get one of those SDK gaming liveries. Actually, I must say, I might be sending some strongly worded messages later on of how I can get one. I think as Tim Grieve and Craig Setup Shop is now on the back of this one as well. Sean Gardner, we've not even mentioned him so far, who's driving for Boosted Sim Sport this season. And he's just at the back of this group, 27th place. But Mike Johnston defending from Kevin Carlisle. And Peter Dempsey's taken the lead. And Ben Palmer's got up into second place. So unfortunately, we've missed the lead battle. Oh!
That's going to hold everybody up. Here comes Craig Williams around the outside of Tamburello.
Well, Pete Dempsey's going to be very, very happy with that.
Careful. Oh. Looks like he might be able to pull this off. Car 4 is Pete Harrod, who was in the lead at one point, or he was trying to get in the lead at one point anyway.
So much good racing down the order. We missed the lead battle, but there you go. It can happen sometimes. Williams having a good run, and his team are doing really, really well this season. You can see Josh Thompson as well in the background in 9th place. Harrod then trying to just make that CQR Club car as wide as possible. He might even be trying to make a bit of a buffer for Ben Palmer here, because he knows Williams and Cooper are very, very quick indeed.
Palmer's gained probably the most spots out of many drivers. 13 places gained for as well for Balfour and 15 for Thompson. So it's been a solid drive through the field by Palmer after a solid finish in race 1.
Just give a shout out to Nieves on the chat. Greeks from New York. We hope you're staying safe there, my friend. And best wishes go out to everyone in USA who's having to deal with this situation. Just make the best of it as you can. I'd like to say, stay home, stay safe, do the best you can. Jason Cooper is doing the best he can to get on the podium. He can see it in front of him. I mean, he can see the two. He sees the two targets. He's got 2.5 minutes to do it. It's going to be a tough ask though. Passing is not easy.
It isn't. Let's see if Craig Williams can give us a demonstration of how you can get an overtake done here. He's not able to get in alongside into the Tamburello, but Harris will be a disadvantage because he took the inside line through there. But look at him, he's almost pushing him through the final part of the complex there. Ooh, looking at the inside into the Villeneuve chicane, no way through there. And Cooper's just watching this, hoping he can benefit as Harrod goes through the Villeneuve chicane as well, taking a bit of inside curb there. And it means that Williams is looking around the outside of Tosa. Cooper could have easily got up the inside there. Now the cutback. Oh, getting a face full of the inner workings. That's what a suspension looks like, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's a little too close for comfort, isn't it?
Oh, dear.
That's Harrod. Harrod's doing a great job of keeping this defence, but Craig Williams, we know he can overtake. Have to pull one out of the bag here in order to do it. Dempsey and Palmer just half a second apart then, as on the penultimate lap at Imola in the ARLTCR.
Dempsey's not out of the woods by any means. The gap's down to less than half a second between he and Ben Palmer in second, so we could be shaping ourselves up for another barnstormer of a final lap.
Yeah, and well, we'll see if Dempsey's going to be thinking, oh, how can I get rid of this guy? I just can't get rid of him. Ben Palmer, very experienced in touring car racing, Renault Clio Cup, among other things, and many races in this league on the Thursday night.
Onto the front straight we go then. This will be them crossing the line to start the final lap of the race. The gap has come down a little bit, down to 3 tenths, and now we'll see what kind of benefit Palmer gets in the tow. He might just get it down to around a tenth by the time we get into the chicane. On the brakes. Dempsey moves across to take the racing line. That's completely fine because Palmer's not alongside him at all. Palmer gets a very decent run through the Tamburello. This could be his opportunity, not maybe into Villeneuve, but potentially into Tosa.
Yeah, if you can set him up through here, it's a good medium speed chicane this. And if you can just get on the power early, you can sometimes get a run into the hairpin. Oh, he thinks about it, he goes to the outside, look at that! Oh! He's super late on the brakes. Oh, bang! Again, they touch wheels. Pete Harrod's going to take advantage of this. Or is he? No, he's not. I think he knows Palmer might have just slightly bit more pace. Maybe just a slightly better chance of getting past Peter Dempsey. But Peter Dempsey's driving a fantastic race. You mentioned Turn 3 Motorsport. Haven't had a win so far in the ARLTC. This could be his time.
Got half a lap to do so. He's had a very decent run through there. The gap's gone up to half a second from Piratella up to Aquinum and Arali. And now we continue to ascend to Variante Alta. This is where you've got to nail your apexes if you're Peter Dempsey, because if you get it wrong here, you can either pick up a slowdown or you'll be at the mercy of the CQR Club car behind into the Brivazza, and he should just have enough in hand as long as he doesn't make a mistake through this left-hander.
I think that's where the real-life experience will really come in handy. Of both Palmer and Dempsey, something slightly bad happens or a little incident happens and they can just get the head down and keep going, and that's what Dempsey's done. He rounds Rivazza then for the final time. Big drive to the line is coming, but Palmer's not close enough. It's going to be Peter Dempsey for Turn 3 Motorsport. It's going to come through and he's going to take the checkered flag as he crosses the line just where his teammate is as well. To take race 2 of the evening here at Imola. Great performance by him and 2 CQR Club cars. They'll be ecstatic with 2nd and 3rd as we see the battle for 16th place over the line.
Hadfield, I think he should just have enough in hand, or does he? 5:03, that is Damien Harris, and it looks like Hadfield was just able to hold on. Let me just double check what the interval was between them at the line. That was 200ths of a second as we cut back to Paolo Preto. Got a bit of love on the YouTube stream. Is he going to go the inside of the Automet car in front? He does think about it. Fighting away with Rob Graham here.
Now Rob Graham's a veteran in the series, also Scott Malcolm. 2 Scotsmen racing for, Automec for Rob Graham and Team Mad, Scott Malcolm, of course, these days. Well, the championship standings, we're gonna. The thing with the championship standings is that being asked on the chat, they do get updated, but maybe not in time for the end of the meeting. We'll have a little look though. Adam, I don't know if we can see that maybe at some point, but we'll have a look and see if we can bring it to you. But it might be a little tough to do as of now.
Just having a quick look to see if they've been updated since the start of race 1. Doesn't look like it, but yeah, hopefully by the end of the meeting we might have a chance of bringing those points to you.
Yeah.
And
Kip
of course,
Stevens is running the Brunei flag. I don't really know why. It was Bermuda last time. Who knows? Maybe it's who knows? Genuinely, it's Kip. We don't know. I don't even know he knows.
I think it was James. Was it James? I think it was Keith Dempsey that was almost lapped by Peter Dempsey, and of course he's got a full lap to do. As
oh, did he not actually get lapped?
No. if I was him, I might have bailed. I don't know.
The stream didn't start late. We just didn't have the points. There was a problem with the website, so just clarifying that.
Can't run you through the position at the top 5 when we came on air. It was Cooper, Sutton, Palmer, Simmons, and Balfour. That's the top 5 in the points, the pro points. It's Luke Cooper leading the way in the Pro-Am Championship. Then it's Field and Woodhouse, and then the teams are being led by CQR Pure Sims and CQR Club, and the AM Teams Championship is Boosted Sim Sport and Boosted Motorsport, and the results are on your screen of the second race. Another thoroughly enjoyable one. When I saw that we were racing at Imola today, I was really excited, and that excitement is well and truly justified, I think, after what we've seen so far. And we've still got one race to go. Peter Dempsey wins then. Turn 3 Motorsports etching their name into the winner's book in the ARLTC. Ben Palmer in second place. He very nearly had it round the outside of Tosa. Very Schumacher Montoya there of 2004 almost. Pete Harrod in third place. Craig Williams fourth. Fifth for Jason Cooper. Pete Newman this time takes the Pro-Am honours after finishing second in race 1. Then Ross Balfour and Josh Thompson inseparable as they fought their way through the field to a top 10 finish. Ross McFarlane for TechSense Fitstyle Motorsport P9, and Jack Sedgwick completing the top 10. David Von Breck, he was leading for a bit, but he finishes 11th. George Simmons 12th, Matt Bunn 13th, then Jamie Rushworth. The 2 Automech teammates there of Luke Cooper and Adam Hadfield, and then Damien Harris in 17th, and Simon Field completing the top 1.5 dozen. 19th place for Tim Stabani, who gained 29 places. Solid effort there. Mark Johnston 20th, Daniel Nage 21st, Wojciech Savidovic finishing behind him in the end. Tim Greven for Craig Setup Shop in 23rd, 24th for Kevin Carlisle, and then Adam Hedgecock, Sean Gardner, and John Roberts, all boosted cars, 25th, 6th, and 7th. Mark Woodhouse there in 28th place, 29th for Michael Evdoka, and then 30th for Rob Barrable. Jake Blackhall in 31st. 32nd, Adam McNally, then the Welshman Mike Horder, Matt Sporgate in 34th, Scott Malcolm in 35th, and then Rob Graham, Paolo Preto, Paolo Brem, 2 similarly named drivers there. Mark Jones 39th, 40th for Kip Stevens, the last car on the lead lap, and then Nicky Meredith, sorry, the last car within a minute. Nicky Meredith 41st, then Nathan Davis in 42nd, Keith Dempsey, Dave Baker, and Rob Jackson all there. And then 2 laps down, Michael Blake, then James Holman, 47th, 48th for Jack Stiles, he was in the pits earlier on, along with Jose Malbran for Fiercely Forward. Bram Clace, 50th, Ash Sutton, wheels, all sorts of stuff falling off his car at the Piratella on the opening lap. And looks like issues on lap 1 also for Tyler Vickery and Rob Sutherland there. They were all eliminated on the opening lap.
Oh. As usual, Adam, well done. 53 cars. It's not exactly a breeze getting through that. We were informed that someone brought a souvenir with them back to the pits from a Peterborough cone and took it home with them. So, fair enough. But we've got the reverse grid wheel coming now, so we're going to see who's going to get onto pole position. Jake Blackhall's had some bad luck as normal, but it could be him that goes onto pole. We'll have to see. Sam Kumar, give us the spin, my friend.
Yep. The wheels on the screen, and let's spin it. Also, just to clarify, we did start a little bit late. The YouTube stream didn't start automatically, so we started about halfway through the qualifier.
Fair enough.
The reverse is full -3.
Oh dear. Brace yourselves, everybody. That is going to be full -3. So -1 will be David Baker, -2 will be Keith Dempsey, -3 will be Nathan Davis. So the driver that did drive for the Apex Racing team for a little while is back in the Audi this time, and he's going to be starting towards the front, starting at the front.
Yeah, and it's going to be Mark Jones alongside him. Kip Stevens is going to be third, and then the Italian Paolo Bremer on the home soil, and then Paolo Preto for Fiercely Forward, with the 2 Scotsmen, Rob Graham and Scott Malcolm, starting behind him. So, after the break, we return for race 3 here in the ARLTCR. So don't go anywhere, stick with the iRacing Esports Network for more. For the final time tonight, the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship field take to the circuit of Imola in Italy for the final round of the evening. At the bath, Andrew Woodhouse, Sam Kumo, bringing you all the commentary and the pictures onto your screen for Apex Racing TV here on the iRacing Esports Network. Adam, 2 great races so far. We've got another one with a much bigger reverse grid, which means that the people who are at the front of the last race have got it all to do in this one.
Yeah, we thought starting 25th was bad. All those guys are going to be starting around 43rd, 44th on the grid. So good luck, guys. This has posed a great opportunity for many more drivers. The Fiercely Forward gang on the YouTube chat will be mightily pleased to hear that Paolo Preto is starting inside the top 10 for you. The grid is on the screen. It's the Welshman Nathan Davis on pole, then it's Nicky Meredith in 2nd, Kip Stevens 3rd, then Mark Jones, Paolo Bremer and Paolo Preto 5th and 6th. Rob Graham, then Scott Malcolm, Mads Borger, and then Mike Horder in 10th. Adam McNally and Jake Blackwell completing the top dozen. Then Rob Barrowall, Evdoka, Woodhouse, Roberts, Gardner, Hedgecock, Carlisle and Tim Greven completing the top 20. And there is the reigning champion and 31st for Czech Savinovic. And the rest of you, the grid scrolling through your screen now. Josh Thompson there in 35th place. Our race winners.
Pete Dempsey is
42nd on the grid. Yeah.
And Keith Dempsey 43rd as he was nearly lapped. So they'll be starting together. It'll be interesting to see what kind of pace Nathan Davis has got. We know he had it in the past.
Jump start for Woodhouse. Sorry.
Oh dear. Well, Woodhouse already in the wars, but the lights are off. The race is on for the 3rd time tonight. It's going Imola. It's a poor start by Nicky Meredith. Really terrible start. And that's allowed Mark Jones in 2nd place and the veteran Kip Stevens is in 3rd place. Great to see Kip up near the front. Let's see what the 2-time champion can do here at Imola.
Good start by all the guys at the front. The positions in the midfield are certainly changing. Apologies to Woodhouse. It was Malcolm, I think, that was moving before the lights.
Same team, yeah, unfortunately.
Into the Villeneuve chicane. There's Paolo Preto. The Brazilian is up there already.
And Paolo Bremer, the Italian, is in 5th place on home soil.
That's a toaster and up the hill. Yeah.
Preto's mixing it up with McNally here at the moment. Mats Borger Andersen is in 10th place as well. The Norwegian for, well, he's a privateer actually, he's Andersen. Adam McNally, and look at this around the outside, that's Mike Horder, that's the Welshman.
Into Aqua Minerale we go. Just about line astern here. There's one of the Craig setup shop cars trying to get inside the CQR Club car. That's Jake Blackwell and Tim Greven fighting out. And Kip Stevens is almost through into 2nd place. And who's this? Oh, where's he going? And Mark Jones off at the Variante Alta. Missed the 2nd apex by a bit.
I think he got a tap, you know. And he just ended up going off to the right. As, oh, there goes John Roberts off.
And that is...
Oh, the contact at the chicane. I think it's Daniel Naj. It might have been a nudge for Naj. Carlisle goes through, and Kleiss might have been the one who made the contact. I'm not sure.
Oh, Nicky Meredith down to 6th place now. There's the Turn 3 Motorsports car. I think something may have just happened to him at the Rivazza, but over the line at the first lap in the books, it's Davis with a 3-second advantage over Kip Stevens.
Well, that by Nathan Davis with 58.2. Standing start, that's pretty good indeed. Doesn't look like he's lost any of his pace then. The Welshman, 2 Welshmen inside the top 10. We'll scratch that because Mike Horner's gone off. Tamburello, he's going to look at the nationalities in the top 10. We've got Wales, we've got Brunei, we've got Italy, Scotland, England, Ireland, Brazil, Norway, Australia, even got Iraq up there.
Oh, and off. That is.
Oh, across. Oh my. Sorry, McNally just moved across the front of Bremer and nearly signed his own death warrant on that one.
That's Borger there as well. Anderson, watch out for him. Over the top of the hill into Piratella. It's very close between Meredith and somehow they're still side by side. McNally goes up the inside and forces the Turn 3 Motorsports car to run us slightly wide, and he's back up the inside of him into Aqua Minerale.
Great work by Meredith and McNally. They were only inches apart. As Preto's been hit there, it looks like, at Aqua Minerale. Brazilian goes sideways.
That might be a slowdown penalty for him as well, Mike. From my experience of running off there in the Formula 3 cars, that will give you a slowdown penalty.
Look at them into the very outer. Look at this sea of Audi RS3s.
Oh, and off.
Oh, and off.
It's Luke Cooper.
Cooper then not hitting the heights of the first round. Not sure what happened there, but the Automech driver ending up off the track. This is a battle between two boosted cars. This is Adam Hedgecock and Mike Horder. Mike Johnston having a look then, and he's been buffeted and marginalised by McFarlane and Jamie Rushworth, who's got ahead of him.
Yeah, there was a conveyor belt of cars heading up his inside there, and his lane almost certainly wasn't going at the right speed. You can see in the top mirror. Oh, he's going to be hit.
Oh my word! Look at this. What on earth? Oh!
Back across the track. Oh,
huge
dear.
crash.
That's
Massive
Johnston.
crash. Wheels everywhere. Stabani's involved, and off goes Josh Thompson.
It was going so well. Race 1 was good, race 2 was solid, race 3 he's hit something solid, and that's the tyre barrier.
It's a good job this isn't a real race as such. And Jack Sedgwick was involved in that one as well, Adam. I don't think he got too much of it, but... Oh, and one of the Turn 3 Motorsport cars got absolutely smashed. I think it might have been Keith Dempsey, potentially.
I think Thompson was the car that came flying towards us. I was trying to avoid it. Meanwhile, in Serenity Land, it's Nathan Davis, who's 6 seconds ahead of Rob. I think that's Rob Graham in second place. I'm not too sure. The timing screen might be struggling to update itself. But I'm just looking at the chat. Is this real life or is it just fantasy? Well, they were caught in a landslide. No escape from reality. Oh no. Fortunately, we haven't anyone having to look up to the skies yet.
Oh, Paolo Preto. He's just a poor boy. He needs no sympathy because he's facing the barrier. And the fiercely forward car going sort of semi-fiercely sideways at the minute. Let's see what happened to him. He's battling with the Automech car number 62. And that is Adam Hadfield. Oh dear me, smash. That might be broken. That's broken suspension, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he was getting hit on one side, then another. And the poor Brazilian is down the order. Look at this.
Oh, was that Nathan Davies sliding around in the lead? Is the 5-second lead? What's this then? That is Tim Greven. Oh, Borger goes wide. Greven is through, but maybe only momentarily. He's getting pressured by Rob Barrable and Nicky Meredith.
So it's the Craig setup shop car of Tim Greven that is leading this train around into the Villeneuve chicane, and then it's the two Turn 3 Motorsports teammates that are trying to get past him. And here comes the Automech car on the inside. Oh,
bang! And that's Hadfield getting into it with Meredith, and then the battered CQR car of Jake Blackhall somehow still running inside the top 10 despite the damage. You see the boot nearly flapping around. Oh, big sideways into Piratella.
Yeah,
Meredith losing it completely almost.
I did think that car's carrying way too much speed for the Piratella. Unfortunately, you don't pick up an off-track if you go off there, as I've found out from my attempts at trying to go around there.
It just came absolutely flying towards us, didn't it? As the two Automech cars, you can see them together now. That's Kip Stevens and Adam McNally and Rob Graham. That's 3 Automech cars in a row. In fact, 3 of the Automech AM team. So great points for them if they can stay where they are.
Yeah, well, it's amazingly we're still not even halfway in.
Sorry, Nathan Davies leads by 9 seconds. He was a former race winner in the series. He won several times, and yeah, kind of went under the radar in the first 2 rounds. Chris Coughlin there made me laugh. 154.1 then for Nathan Davis. Very quick lap indeed. Lapping much quicker than anybody else out there. Everyone else seems to be in the 55s at the moment. Graven trying to go to the inside on Stevens. Paolo Bremer on the outside. The Italian turns in. Oh, he tries to squeeze Stevens. It didn't quite work. He's got pushed across the Tamburello. That's going to be a slowdown penalty for him. Mamma mia, indeed. Oh, what's happening? Stevens, he just runs into him.
Oh, where's he going? He's off!
Oh, he's off. Oh, bang.
Door mirror off.
That's a big smash for Rema. And what? Look at this. They're just. Oh, this is just bump and run city, isn't it? Here, that's Balfour getting into it with Adam Hadfield. Hadfield is not a shrinking violet out there, Adam. I tell you, open your eyes and see. Exactly.
Oh, they've got the knee.
Easy come, easy go. Little
Mamma
high,
mia.
little. Oh no! They're on the actual turf.
Magnifico. Up the inside goes Hadfield, and he's got behind Swaquin and Minerali. He's got some sort of growth on the front of his Audi there.
I see a little silhouette of an Audi RS3.
Oh. And Nicky Merida's off. That's a massive shame for the Irishman. The Turn 3 Motorsports car that started towards the front. He's now hanging on to a spot that.
Oh, Balfour!
Oh no!
Mamma mia!
Oh well. That was the Turn 3 Motorsports car leaping over the chicane, and then Balfour feeling a Klaus in the rear.
What are we doing here? Yeah, exactly. That was a little amateur hour, wasn't it? That was coming through the Rivazza. Says a man who's just reciting song lyrics in the last 5 minutes. And Cooper and Horder then. Well, it's Horder and Damien Harris there. They're side by side. And McNally's now going past Rob Graham. Oh my God! Careful, boys. Teammates out there. They'll take each other out, for goodness sake. Look at the points available.
Oh my goodness me! What is going on here? And that is going to be. It looks like Rob Graham that comes out ahead. Adam McNally probably thinking, you know what? I can't afford this. Let's just make sure we get these guys to the end of the race.
My good Lord, what's happening in there?
Oh well. Into Tosa. We've got half the race still to go, let's not forget.
Ah, it's unbelievable. Yes. So Nathan Davies leads by 10.5 seconds. He's just gone. Yeah, we'll have a look at him for a few corners because, you know, just to remind ourselves that he's still in the race. Welsh driver, just minding his own business and winning the race very, very easily, in fact. Reminds me of certain victory that I took in Canada that time. Just absolutely everyone else just beat the living hell out of each other, and I waltzed off to the distance.
Oh, I don't want to talk about the time that I raced here. Picked up three DQs in what was 4 races at the time.
Well, Dave Baker crashed into you, so it wasn't your fault.
Oh, that's a crumb of comfort.
Some of it wasn't. Here comes Jack Sedgwick anyway. P9 for the Apex Racing team car. Drifting is always the fastest way, yes, Fraser Smith. Indeed. Oh, look at that dive. Big dive by Hadfield into Borger. Borger tries to come back and he tries to stay ahead of Jack Sedgwick as well. It's easier said than done, Adam, because Sedgwick is potentially the fastest driver in the series. Oh, it'd be a bone of contention. Oh! I think the bump draft in play there. Oh, we can see he's inside of that bulkhead.
Here comes Sedgwick then, who's gained 19 places. 25 places. It could be even more. Round the outside of the Tamburello. He's alongside, and who's there behind? It's Jamie Rushworth.
Yeah, he's obviously been told to just send it already. Let's see if Sedgwick does send it around the outside in Villeneuve. Yes, he's still side by side, is he? No, he doesn't have the overlap. Not quite, but can he get up the inside for Tosa? Or will he try the same move that was tried in round 2 by Ben Palmer? He tried it. He was moved slightly across. Well, there are yellow flags that do appear. Or side by side. There are yellow flags, but they are very much advisory. You won't get a penalty. Yeah, you won't get a penalty for, say, overtaking on the yellow flags. But it's more of a warning, isn't it, Adam, in this series than actually an instruction as such.
Yeah, I think the only notification you'll get if there's a yellow out is if we do have a safety car. I think then the yellow flags appear on the timing tower up the inside.
And then there is no overtaking, but there is overtaking out on the circuit, thankfully, and that's Jack Sedgwick. Harris has cut the very anti-alta, so he's dropped down behind Hedgecock. He's going to drop down behind Field. He's probably going to get a slowdown penalty as well, which will put him into the clutch of Luke Cooper.
He's that going inside. That is the reigning champion, Wojciech Savidovic. He's battling away with Mads Borger here, and just in front of them, it's wheel to wheel between Rushworth and Hadfield. It looks
like. That was a fairly sizable hit. Hadfield just shoving Rushworth out of the way. He says, you know, get out of my way. Rushworth, a former champion, though, he won't take that one lightly, that's for sure. 4 Automech cars in the top 10. Jason Cooper's made 30 places, and he just got his way past Adam Hadfield. At least he's ahead of him for now. Rushworth's got the slipstream of all slipstreams. Look at the overspeed there for the CQR Pure Sim driver as he looks up the inside.
Well, Hadfield's a sitting duck
Just a
at the
cutback.
moment. Oh, around the outside, the front damage is really limiting his straight line speed, and Rushworth's going to utilise that. You can see him in the rear view mirror, and he is just about clear.
Next season, I believe it starts in about, what's that, about 8 weeks, something like that?
Yeah, but it's
essentially.
Yeah, this is race meeting 4 of a 14-week campaign.
So a bit more than that, then maybe about 3 months, something like that, for the next season to begin. But through goes Hadfield. Rushworth is there. Savidovic got pushed down slightly behind Mats Borger Anderson. Let's have a look. Biggest movers. I wonder if we can get the graphic of positions gained on this one, because
good lord,
many drivers look double-figure position gains. Some of them over 20 places. Palmer, Williams, Dempsey, Cooper, Sedgwick. Tim Grieven's up 17 places from where he started. Terrific stuff.
Cooper up 30 places. That's remarkable. Don't forget, he was doing very well in race 2. Did very well in race 1 as well.
Yeah, Fraser, it's usually a few weeks after the previous season finishes. Usually just have a few weeks break. But it's not confirmed at this point, so don't take my word for it. It's just what usually happens. This is Craig Williams and Ben Palmer. Williams is on the grass at him. He's looking very feisty.
Yeah, he is. Every position counts here. Of course, we do have a showdown format as well. So after 10 races, 10 race meetings, we'll have the showdown where the points are closed right up and we go for a champion. Now, here is the fight for 16th and 17th. That CQR car Palmer will be very good in a straight line, of course.
It will indeed. Just to your point there, actually, Adam, as Cedric sets the fastest lap, 52.6, goodness me. Is that this is where it might come in handy for the likes of Nathan Davis. You know, if you can get a win or two, probably get his way in on a wild card, because there are usually a couple of spots where drivers with the most wins outside of the top 10 in points can get into the showdown and fight for the title. That's how Wojciech Savidovic got in last season to win his 6th title.
Almost a brilliant move by Craig Williams there. He's really trying to shape up Field through Villeneuve. There's just enough space going into Tosa. Hopefully he puts a few wheels on the grass.
Bang.
He did. He pressed the brake pedal on the grass and then slid into the boosted car.
Mitchell Riggs says the first time watching the series. Looks like he'll be tuning in more often. Well, we're glad to have you. Welcome. Yeah, definitely like you have you along every Thursday on the iRacing Esports Network. Brilliant racing out there tonight in the ARL Touring Car Championship. So it's Davies from McNally, Grieven, Blackhall and Graham. Rob Barrable in 6th. Oh, off! And that's George Simmons and Kip Stevens. It's gone bad to worse for Stevens. He was up at the front, he was in 2nd place, and now he's in 35th place. It's not going well.
I think that shows you how close everybody is. For a second, I was very worried as Nathan Davis was tumbling down the order, but I think that's just a glitch on my timing screen. Here's a replay between Simmons and Stevens.
Well, they both. Well, Simmons and I'm trying to think who that other car is, the black and white one. It'll come to me in a second. Who is the black and white? Who is the? Oh, it's Daniel Nage. They kind of double teamed him a little bit there, didn't they? Not a lot Kip Stevens could do that time. Tim Grieven, and Adam McNally. That was a good move. Just give enough space to McNally, and McNally gets out of it pretty well.
Now that Jack Sedgwick's in the clear, he's setting brilliant lap times. Another 2 purple sectors on the previous lap, a 1:52.8, which was just over a second quicker than Nathan Davis. It shows the pace that he's turning at the moment.
He's not hanging around at all, is he, Jack Sedgwick? He never does. But this is why he's a championship contender, because he can take a 33rd place grid spot and be up in the top 10 easily. Likewise, Jason Cooper, likewise, Rushworth, Hadfield, Wojciech Svidovic in 11th, Damien Harris in 12th. They've all gained over 10 places as Cedric has a look on Barrable into Piratella. It slows him up, Adam, and Cooper's now having a go.
I think it's quite fortunate where we're coming into Aquanum Nerali, because unless you're totally alongside, there's no way you're going to be able to get a move done there. It's very much one line through, though we saw a few cars get quarter panels out of the race earlier on, but a decent view from on board here with Jason Cooper, up to 5th gear, then slamming on the brakes into the very anti-alta, right, left, over the curbs, and he's got a very decent run.
Oh, great run, yeah, and he's going to get right in the slipstream of the Apex Racing team car. I'll tell you what, Cedric's got good straight line speed in that thing, and he's got a bit of a slipstream from Rob Barrable. Rob Graham takes to the inside, slight nudge. Oh, and Cedric almost across the front of Barrable's car. Barrable just manages to avoid disaster that time. He's lost a couple of places, but he lives to fight another day.
Final lap of the race then, and barring a minor miracle, it looks like Nathan Davis is set to take his first win of the campaign. They're back at it though. It's Cedric versus Graham.
Very, very close. Rob Graham then on the outside into Tamburello. He sees the opportunity. Can he go for it in this triple chicane? Left, right, left. He's lost drive in the middle of the corner though. Cedric really pulls ahead of Rob Graham, and it looks like Jason Cooper might be able to get up the inside on his stablemate. They're not teammates because Rob Graham is in the AM Automech team as Rushworth goes off and loses out to Wojciech Svidovic.
Oh, it's all bunching up here. Oh dear me, as they go for the toe, so I was expecting the camera to pan around and see a few cars off, but decent run from Hadfield there on the exit. The front of the car may be showing severe signs of wear and tear, but he's got a decent run and he's up the inside into Piratella.
Oh, Barrable tries to take the normal line. That's not going to work, my friend. Because, what? Oh, and that's Wojciech Svidovic nearly off.
Oh, he was done for then.
Great move there by Adam Hadfield. Rob Barrable wasn't having it. It was questionable defending, to say the least. Oh, Hadfield's slow. Hadfield very slow out of Aqua Minerale.
A slowdown penalty. He's gonna just about stay ahead.
Make a bit of contact, might even slightly clip through each other. But here comes Nathan Davis. And what a comeback it is for the Welshman on the 3rd round. His return to the ARLTCR. He wins here at Imola. Brilliant, dominating fashion. He wins by 10 seconds. And what's going to come across the line behind him?
It's going to be Greven in 2nd, just. Ella McNally, bit of bubbly for McNally. Blackhall misses out in 4th. Here comes that crazy group.
Oh, here we go. Cooper is going to get there, I think. No, it's Graham, sorry, that just gets there ahead of Svidovic. And then Rushworth, Hadfield, Harris coming across in one big group. That's down to 11th place. And that was very close in the middle. Mark Woodhouse getting involved in that battle too.
Looks like we missed Rob Barrable's demise. I don't think he's crossed the line yet.
Did he get disqualified?
Put it past him. Let me just have a look and see if there is a DQ limit. Now in iRacing you can get a penalty. There is no DQ limit. So I think we're about to find out.
Here we go then. This is at the very anti-alta. We saw the little bit of contact with it's Wojciech Svidovic. Barrable into the barrier, and oh my word, everyone did really, really well to avoid him. I don't know if he's blown the engine there, so I wonder if he could have potentially got that to the finish line, but I guess we'll never know on that one. Well, what a terrific race, Adam, and we seem to have them every time we come to this circuit.
Chris Coughlin, I think, echoes what our thoughts are right now. That was emotional, watching that. I don't know what emotions it brought out of me, but we still are waiting for a few cars to finish. That must be said before we can bring you the final standings. I'm not too sure who's circulating the track at the moment. I'm guessing it might be Scott Malcolm, who we saw jump the start earlier, and Rob Jackson.
Now.
Yeah, there's Rob Jackson. Yeah, he's the last car on the lead lap. So Simtech car comes across the line in 41st, I should say.
Yeah. There you go.
Let's run through the finishing order then. It's a win for Wales and for Nathan Davis. The all-green Audi comes across the line and wins by 10 seconds. 0.3 of a second ahead of Adam McNally is Tim Greven, who finishes in second, and that's the podium. Jake Blackhall in fourth, Jack Sedgwick in fifth, and then Jason Cooper will likely have extended his championship advantage, with Sutton not having the best of race 2 or race 3 to finish in sixth there. Jason Cooper. Rob Graham seventh, Wojciech Savidovic, the reigning champion, 0.03 of a second away in eighth. Adam Hadfield ninth, and Jamie Rushworth completing the top 10. 11th place for Damien Harris. I'll tell you what, these new entrants in the ARLTC this season are really showing the pace they've got. After that, it's Ben Palmer in 12th, thank you Sam. Matt Sporger in 13th, I believe that's a good result for him. Craig Williams in 14th, Adam Hedgecock 15th, and it's Peter Dempsey who was victorious in race 2, so a solid drive through the field considering he started outside the top 40.
Yeah, 42nd to 16th, very good.
In a NASCAR race, that would be a good day's work on that occasion. Luke Cooper 17th, then Tim Stabani, the German, 18th. 19th was Pete Newman, 20th for Mike Corder, then Mark Woodhouse 21st. Ross Balfour 22nd. We saw what happened to him in the early stages. He was completely taken out and had at the very anti-altar. Pete Harrod 23rd, Daniel Nage in 24th, David Baker from pretty much the back up to 25th, Sean Gardner, George Simmons there in 27th, James Holman 28th, and the top 30 completed by Jack Stiles and Paolo Bretto. David Von Breck in 32nd, then John Roberts. Rob Sutherland did get a few positions in that third and final race, so it ends on a good note for him. Michael Evdoka 35th, Mark Johnston there and his compatriots, at least in terms of the flags here, Simon Field. Scott Malcolm, he took his drive-through penalty after jumping the start and finished in 38th. Rob Jackson 39th and Kip Stevens in 40th. He was one of the high starters as well for this one. Cars one lap down on more, Rob Barrable and Matt Bunn. Kevin Carlisle as well. Not too sure what happened to Bunn in that one. And then the cars that don't pick up any points because they finished 2 laps down or more. Nicky Meredith, he was definitely one to watch in the first half of the race. Mark Jones, Paolo Bremer, the Italian, got punted after serving a slowdown and then went flying off at the Villeneuve chicane. Ross McFarlane for TechSense Fitstyle Motorsports, 9 laps down. And there's Josh Thompson, who did definitely take a whack at on the front straight when we had that massive wreck. Tyler Vickery also out, Keith Dempsey to Bram Clace, and Ash Sutton also out as well. And they'll be hoping for better things when the series, I should have looked at this earlier, the series heads to Road America, which is next week. The good tracks just keep on coming here.
Oh yeah, I mean, Road America's a great one. Fantastic circuit. And yeah, we go from one classic to another one, like you say, and we're going to see if we can get some drivers in to the commentary box for an interview. We don't have anybody actually
ready for us yet,
waiting for us at the moment, so we'll give them a few minutes in case they do want to come in. But yeah, that was fun. I mean, yeah, it got a bit, as it so often does in race 3, Adam, it did get a little bit tetchy at the end, but all in all, pretty well driven and pretty, you know, most of it was pretty clean and pretty well done.
Yeah, the second half of race 3 in particular was pretty clean by the drivers. It was just the mentalness of the first half, the first 10 minutes, where we were all on the edge of our seats, maybe even standing up at some point. But Nathan Davis, he wouldn't have had to have worried about that at all. He was almost 2 seconds clear by the end of the first lap, and by the time the first 5 or 6 minutes was over, the damage was done really in terms of anybody trying to catch him, because the gap was approaching 5 or 6 seconds at that time. We do have a familiar face waiting to talk to us in the interview area. He might not have had the best race meeting today, but he certainly knows how to drive around here, and he certainly knows how to hit me around here. It's Dave Baker who joins us in the commentary box. Not the best of evenings for you, Dave, but good for the team at CQR, doing well. And what was it like trying to get through the crazy pack that we had today?
They were a bit of madness, weren't they?
I know.
I mean, I've got a smile. You know, that they were tough races. There's going to be some stuff for people to look back at, but I definitely found myself in the thick of it tonight. I can't only imagine what it was like for you guys trying to call it all.
Oh well, yeah. If you ever watch it back at some point this week, I think we were exasperated at one point.
Always watch it back, Adam.
Nice. So do we here. what was the first few corners like? Because obviously you've got the Tamburello and Villeneuve chicanes, and then you've got the hard braking point at Tosa, and then you don't really sort yourself out until you get past Piratella on the opening lap. You're really holding your breath for those first few corners.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, the way the checkups happen with a grid this size, you're not looking at the car in front of you or even the car in front of that. You're trying to look 6 cars ahead as to what's going on to anticipate kind of these massive concertinas through. It's, a skill that you...
the car in front.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not looking at them.
You got to kind of watch everybody, and it's a tricky skill. Not everybody gets it right. I don't get it right all the times. But you can tell people that have raced in really large packs before and those that are still finding their feet just because of how they judge that lap 1. Yes, you might make 5 positions, but if you then misjudge it and find yourself off in the kitty litter, you can lose 20. So it's all about risk and reward and balance and stuff, isn't it? And I think we're still finding our feet a little bit with this car, this size of grid. And a tricky track like this where it does kind of funnel you through chicanes quite quickly on, particularly after some very high-speed straights.
We have had quite a few new drivers join us this season, and some of them have been at the front right from the get-go. Makes it more difficult for you guys to get the points on the board, especially in a much shorter season than what we've been used to in the past.
Oh yeah, there's some properly quick people this year, and okay, maybe they're not having some of the luck that they deserve, or are finding themselves in incidents and finding their feet with the rules, because we know how tough they can be and stuff like that. But on pure pace, I think this is one of the tightest grids we've had. I think we've just got to make sure we get through the races in a bit better order than we are at the moment. But I hope people are just enjoying it anyway.
You're still getting decent points on the board, though. I think going into this race meeting, you were...
I went quite a way down. I've had a bit of a shaky start, but that doesn't bother me. I've had some really great seasons in the past. I'm bound to have some slip-ups at some point and things like that, so I'm just enjoying it. Well, a nice distraction from everything else that's going on at the moment.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Moving on, Road America next week. You talk about a track where everybody funnels into a corner. There's a few corners at Road America that are pretty much the same, especially the kink. So how do you think that's going to go next week?
Kink I think will be okay. I'm anticipating that's going to be pretty single file. And I guess unlike a rear wheel drive car, if you start to lose it through there, you're just going to boot it more to try and, pull the front of the car through. The one that's going to, I think, cause the issues, as it always does, is, well, I'll say turn 3. Obviously, they don't call it turn 3 for whatever reason, but that 90-degree left at the end of that really long straight, kind of midway through the lap. That's going to be the interesting one, because you're going to have people in the draft there, probably too wide, probably 3-4 deep on the opening laps. That's where it's going to be interesting. People are going to need to have their wits about them there for sure.
Oh, we're definitely looking to it. Woody, anything for Dave before we send him on his way?
Just really say that he did well to survive that one. I think it was pretty hectic out there, and yeah, you're certainly right about Road America. It's definitely that turn 3. I'll always call it turn 3. I'm afraid I'm not really.
Yeah, I know. It's the third turn.
But it's the third time you turn the wheel in anger. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's going to be the key point.
If you say third wheel in anger, some of these guys might have turned it a few times before then.
Hey.
We'll see. It's going to be frantic. It's going to be fun. Hopefully the guys watching on the broadcast enjoy it for what it is.
Well, before we let you go, and you're very experienced with this final question, having been in the commentary box quite a few times, give us some shout-outs.
As always, it's going to be to the guys running the league, putting the time and effort into doing that. You guys on the broadcast booth. I would normally say at this point to everybody in CQR, but I believe there is an announcement coming out tomorrow that might change some of that. So I'll say for one last time, thank you to everybody in CQR for getting us to where we are today.
Okay, I'll look out for that tomorrow. But Dave, well done tonight, even though it might not have been the best of race meetings. And thanks as always for coming to spend some time with us.
Yeah, no worries, guys. It's a pleasure to chat.
Always good to have you, Dave. And yeah, thank you for coming in. So, hopefully, I'm hoping that this is Nathan Davis. Hello, Nathan. Maybe?
Hello, sorry about that.
Hello.
How are we doing, gentlemen?
Hello, mate. Now, this has been a long time, hasn't it?
It has, very much so, very much so.
Well, first of all, how are you doing? And second of all, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It's my first win for very many years, so Nice to come back and just hit it on the head like that.
Well,
But yeah, very boring race, if I'm quite honest with you. I feel completely hollow and empty. I would much rather have been in a massive ruck and come out on top. But hey, what can you do?
oh, but rest assured, they had a massive ruck behind you. It was like all of the Six Nations piled in at once.
Did they do me proud?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. There was a big one. There was a big one on the stream, which you'll see coming into the first corner. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about the first couple of races then. How did you find that? Because it looked like it got rather mental out there, and your car did not look like it was finished in the condition it started in.
No, it didn't. You're definitely right. That very much like in real life. But yeah, I started the race really well, and of course my first BSR or ALR race back for many years, and yeah, it's just really tough starting in 47th after I've absolutely messed qualifying up, and then yeah, I've just got involved in an accident. I looked back at it, and there was not much anybody could do really. Just yeah, I ended up in the wall. And then the second race was fascinating. I had a really good start in that one. Was really going well, and then Bakes had a few issues, and managed to collect me, and that was that.
Well, in the end, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
I was saying to the guys, like, when the only race I've won in this series was a very similar style to yours, where everyone else sort of did my work for me and tripped over each other, and I had a boring race and ran off into the distance. So even though it seems like it feels like it's not that well earned, you've still driven the laps and you've still driven them faster than everybody else. So
yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean the first race. This is how fresh I am to this car. I was on completely baseline setup for the whole of tonight, and the start of the first race, I just realised that I didn't have a clutch. So I was like, oh, what do you do then? So as the red lights were coming on, I was on to my friend Mark Johnson, who's also on the grid. How do you start these? So he talked me through like the launch control system as the red lights were counting down. And then I, of course, held the throttle fully on because I was like, well, it's automated launch control. It's
going to be fine.
It's just flat out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been there a lot.
Yeah, it might as well be going backwards when it's doing that. Hey, look, it's good to have you back. Are you going to be back for the foreseeable future?
I'd like to think so. I mean, I love this racing, and yeah, I have missed it all the time I've been away. So yeah, it'd be lovely to be back now. Cause some mayhem.
Indeed. Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to give a shout out to anybody who you'd like.
No, I would just like to thank Apex Racing for everything they've done for me in the past few years, and they're obviously running a really great league here again now. So yeah,
good one. We'll give you the money later, mate.
And a shout out to my friend Mark, who's on the grid as well. I mean, he doesn't get to get on the podium a lot, so I thought I'd give him a mention.
Well, he's very very quick, but he just seems to always get the thick end of other people's crashes. I think seems to be.
I'm gonna catch flack for saying this.
What happens in? Go on. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying. I'm just winding him up. He's actually quite quick.
It's all right when you waltzed off into the front by 10 seconds.
Honestly, he is absolutely seething. I've been away for 2 years. I come back, boof, win. He is absolutely. You cannot imagine.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll leave you to it. We'll leave you to go and probably hide from him somewhere. But
no, I'm going to be rubbing salt into the wound.
But thanks for coming in anyway. It's good to speak to you, mate.
Yeah, you too, guys. Have a good night.
All the best. Nathan Davis there. And Adam, do you want to pick one more victim from pluck someone from the interview room? Should we go for Adam Hedgecock because he didn't get in last time?
Certainly. Yeah, let's get him in for a quick word at the end of the evening. Sorry, Josh.
We spoke to Josh on Monday night. I think he'll be all right. When we got Adam in last time, He did. He was in World GTs. He did a 10th, and a 12th, I think, out of about 50 cars. Came in because he was very happy about the situation, and I think got a class win. And of course, his microphone didn't work, so we couldn't get to speak to him. But I believe Adam's found him now.
And he joins us now in the interview room for a quick word. Well, Adam, how did you find it out there? Just looking back on some of the shots from the replay, it looked like you permanently had someone side by side with you at most points during the race.
It was a tough night. This is a proper old school track. There's not a lot of rooms. The corners are tricky to say the least. It was brutal at times, and yeah, you don't get a moment's rest. Like, the only time I could really stop and breathe was at the end of the race.
Well, yeah, 20 minutes of heart in your mouth stuff, plus in race 1 and race 2 as well. How would you rate your performance tonight?
It wasn't great. I'm not particularly good here. Anyway, it's a tricky little track, but I don't know. I got 3 finishes. That's the important thing. That's what we aim for in the boosted teams. Just aim for finishes, accumulate the points, and see where we end up at the end of the season.
I was going to say, it has been a good start to the campaign for you. Both boosted Sim Sport and Boosted Motorsport can both boast that they are at the top of the championship at the moment. In fact, it's very close for you in terms of the Pro-Am teams as well.
Yeah, we both had a pretty decent start. We're knocking on the door of the top 20. At least one of the drivers, maybe 2 each race. So, we're I don't know. It seems like we've got a bit of momentum this season. We've started off on the right foot, and yeah, as you say, we've got a bit of a lead. So hopefully we can keep it going.
And now someone, I think, told us in the YouTube chat that the CQR cars, that the boosted cars are glowing this season with glitter on them. I don't know if that's just a myth or not, but the paint jobs have certainly looked good this season.
Yeah. So I've spent the last, I don't know, I'm gonna say 3-4 days in Photoshop trying to figure out little cute things that we can put on the car to make them just pop that little bit more. And I've figured out how to do glitter. So on our normal paint now, all the shiny, colourful bits that we had before are now glittery.
Well, there you go. I need to have a look at that, I think, to maybe have my own look at getting some decent paint work on the cars I'm in the official series. But next week, though, Road America. What's your thoughts of that going into the next week?
I have to say this collectively as boosted drivers, we do like a good draft track. We do like going to Road America. We're not so good in technical tracks, but when there's straights and there's draft to be had, we love it, and we are well up for it. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. It should be. We usually have good racing there, don't we? Usually some good battles right to the flag to flag. So yeah, more of the same, I hope, and hopefully maybe even a top 15.
Well, you're our final interviewee of the night. So before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Yeah, Josh Thompson, because he was begging for an interview when I was just chatting to him a minute ago.
Okay.
Mind.org.uk in boosted all this year. We're running the Mind logo on our cars to show support for mental health and well-being, especially at times like this where it's even more important to look after yourself. Don't be afraid to talk to people. All the boosted boys, as usual, great bunch of lads to race with, and special one for you guys. I've been a part of Apex TV for about a month now, and you guys are the most welcoming and warm-hearted people I've come across. You've been so good to me, helped me out. So thank you to you guys as well.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Well, and now that I feel a bit upset for Thompson, we might just have to get him.
Go on, let's go. Tell you what, Adam, you hang around. We'll get Thompson in then, seeing as he. Go on, why not? Hello, Josh.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I hear you were literally begging to talk to us.
You were lobbying for an interview. We're trying to go off and do an official race soon, but go on, make it quick.
Well, it wasn't my fault you nabbed someone midway through having a conversation and asked for interviews, and I came and I'm the last one.
Literally grabbed it, yeah. well, race 1 was good. Race 2 was all right, and then I think were you caught up in the wreck on the front straight in race 3?
Yeah, the absolute cluster.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
think you nearly took our camera out.
Yeah, we saw him in the wall actually. I wonder if he might be on the screen potentially.
Yeah.
It got a bit. I mean, what was your view of that?
Pathetic.
Oh.
I'll be
No, I don't
complete-
mean what your opinion was. What did you see?
chaos and pathetic, people.
There you go.
That's all. That's literally what I saw.
I don't think
I'll be clear and honest about it. Like, I don't know why people were trying to force it 3 wide down the straight. It's going to always end
Yeah.
up in tears, especially in a moment. As Baker pointed out, there's a lot of issues with the latency at the moment, with like in big grids. There was always going to be that chance, so at least give a bit more room. And yeah, all I saw was just 3 cars go left, collected 4th car, saw a gap, slowed down. They had to try and fault for the gap, and yeah, and
then
end up
just
getting
got
absolutely destroyed. And it destroyed all the car, so that was me done on the spot.
Well,
race one was good. If you want to look on that, it almost could have been a race victory for you at one point.
Yeah, race 1. To be honest, I'm actually quite surprised with my pace in the car. I know I struggled when the car first came out when I was racing against Jack and Ross and stuff. So to be able to get race with them at the front, I can't really complain. I'm really happy. But obviously, end of the day, it doesn't matter how good your race 1 is. It's how you do over a meeting. And 3 meetings in a row, I've either two race meetings I've DNF now in race 3 because of other people, and I messed up race 3 myself at Silverstone. So I'm like 20th in the championship. It's like all the races that could have been top of the leaders, like point scorers. But yeah, hopefully there's a long way to go.
oh yeah, I mean, you still got the showdown potentially, even
If I make it.
if you can get the wins. Yeah, if you can get the wins, you'll get in there. I mean, obviously that Wodge did a good job with that last season. Road America next week, is it one that you like?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Like Adam mentioned, it's a draft track. Obviously, it's straight, so it'll probably be 3 wide there, which will be interesting again. But
dear.
I think overall, I think Road America, I think it's a bit of an easier track to race at compared to Imola. Imola, there's a lot of corners where it tricks you going into for an overtake. There's a lot of people who got caught out with the chicane dives at the start. At least Road America, we don't have that. So hopefully the race will be as good. If it was as good as it was in race 1 at the front, I'll be happy.
And I don't know if Adam Bath, if you remember, like that almighty one that went on down the back straight a few years ago.
Oh well, yeah, yeah, I remember that
There
one.
was about 30 cars involved going under the bridge
Cheese
on
bridge.
the back, so
Yeah.
the cheap bridge, yeah. And they went 4 wide. Somebody got on the grass, and it just went all to hell. So yeah, we could potentially see something like that. Just before we go, Josh, if you want to give some shout outs, mate.
I'm going to be here a while. I've got a lot of sponsors to get through.
Do it.
Oh, it's all right for some, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. So
If you could lend Adam some sponsors and.
So obviously, first to you guys for the broadcasting. That was great as always. Obviously, all the admins, very well. They do a good job trying to keep us in check. Obviously,
Oh, believe me,
main
that
one-
takes something.
Yeah. Yep. Main one to Craig. Obviously, I'm not running the full livery because obviously with Williams Esports, but I can't thank him enough because obviously he got me into the series. He paid for my entry. So first off to all his sponsors being like Pixel Dust, Sims, Swedish Rig Designs, Demon Tweaks, and then obviously Williams, which is Chill Blast, Razor, Fanatec, BenQ, One All Sports, and I think I've messed one up. But yeah, that's as close as I'm gonna get.
Hey, 9 out of 10 ain't bad, is it really? So well done. And we'll catch you in the next one, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers guys.
Cheers, man. Well, Josh Thompson there, and just to echo Adam as well, Adam Hedgecote. Just before we leave you tonight, I was just going to actually touch on the fact that we hope everybody's staying home, everybody's staying safe and healthy and everything, no matter where you are in the world. And mental health is extremely important, and the most important thing is you look after your own mind and your own state of mind, and this situation, without trying to be too somber, it can get to anybody. It doesn't matter how strong you think you are or how strong people tell you are. You need to make sure, and I'm sure Adam will echo me on that you are happy and healthy yourself.
Oh, definitely. The last few weeks been pretty tough, and we hope everyone is still okay, and hopefully with all this, with all the esports that we've got going on at the moment, especially on iRacing, not just this series, other series, this is providing everybody with the entertainment that they need to get through this at the moment. So yeah, thanks everybody to viewing and contributing on the live chat as well, and we'll hopefully see you next week as well.
Yeah, very good talking with the chat. Adam Hedgecock, thank you for joining us in the commentary box, mate. And yeah, I'm sure we'll catch you on Apex TV sometime in the near future.
Yeah, no worries. Sorry, I was just letting you guys finish your thing.
Oh, right, yeah.
I was just giving you a bit of the soapbox there at the end, but there you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Adam. Thank you to Adam Bath. Thank you to Sam Kumo for doing the cameras as well. It's always a challenge keeping up with 50 cars out there on the circuit, and he did that very, very well as usual. Thank you everybody for watching here on the iRacing Esports Network. This has been a presentation of the iRacing of the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship, I beg your pardon, presented by Apex Racing TV, SDK Gaming. We'll be back next week for another round from Road America, but in the meantime, we'll see you next time.